Do you remember the first day you've learned that the next Insomniac game will be Spider-Man?
I do. Yeah, I was freaking out.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my second question. What did you do?
So immediately I thought, oh, this is like a dream come true. I've loved this character forever. I grew up reading Spider-Man comics, and now not only do I get the opportunity to work on it, I can't screw it up. You know, I felt that sense of responsibility like right away.
You know, lots of people know Spider-Man from comic book and also from some Raimi movie and from Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So what was your vision and how did you start?
When I first started, I like to tell the story of how I'm writing the first scene and my hands start shaking because I feel all the pressure, you know, but also excitement, you know, and I called into the next room and I told my wife, I'm writing Spider-Man, this is crazy. From there, I just, you know, I knew that I knew the character, you know, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, you know, you have to have confidence that you're going to do the right thing, because if you're a fan and you know and love the character, then whatever you bring out from inside you is going to, you know, come to the fans.
Was it difficult even because of this? Because every fans know this universe and they are very sensitive to, like, I don't know, like any mistakes or maybe...
Yeah. You know, I tried not to worry about that because, like I said, I'm a fan, and I think there's always going to be, you know, people who don't like certain things or want things a certain way, and you know, we try to say as writers, you can't please everybody, right?
Course, yeah.
But you do have to do what's in your heart, what you feel is right. When we started, we recognized, I think, that, like I mentioned, Bill at Marvel said that the best stories are when Peter Parker's world and Spider-Man's world collide.
Sure.
And we looked at all the other games that had come before and you know, the movies and the comics, and we said, you know, we haven't really seen a game that really focuses on both, you know, and allows you to play as Peter Parker, experience what life is like for Spider-Man when he's just a regular guy. And so that was something that we wanted to do from the start. And then throughout development, we said, okay, how do we tie those things together with an overall story arc, with the villains and the city and, you know, everything that you come to expect from a blockbuster Marvel game.
Yeah. It was only you who worked on the script, or?
No, so there were 3 writers. Myself, Ben Arfman, and Christos Gage all worked on the story.
How was the cooperation?
It was great.
Yeah, there were any, like, I don't know, argues about some?
No, not really. No, we, you know, I mean, any time that you're in a situation and you're working with other writers, you want to open yourself up to them, because that's something I found out throughout my whole career, is that the more I share with other people, the better the writing is going to be. And that's all that matters. All that matters is that, you know, when you're done with it, what people play is great, right? So, you know, good writers will put away their ego and say, okay, you know, I wrote this, you guys have at it. Let me know what you think, the good, the bad, you know, the ugly. And we're all that way. We're all happy to share with each other. In this game, we've written about 400,000 words, which I think if it's a novel, it's about the size of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But you know, it's a lot of typing. Yeah.
Is there any way how to, like, recalculate it to hours of the game? How the game?
No, because you know, a game script is just a linear, you know, format, and the player can play as long or as short as they want. They can skip things. They can, you know, go and do things different ways. Yeah. This is a crafted story, so there's no branching narrative. There's no multiple endings. But as you're playing throughout the game, you'll have the opportunity to disengage with the story if you like, and go out into the city, you know, find some side missions, do some side content, that kind of thing.
Inspiration for the story is quite obvious. It's Spider-Man universe, of course. So, are there any inspiration from previous games? Did you use some mechanics like from Sunset Overdrive or something?
That's a great question. So, one thing we learned on Sunset Overdrive is, I don't know if you played that game or not, but there was a part of the game where you unlock the air dash, you know? And that's when traversal really clicked for a lot of people. So I think as a team, we recognized that, okay, let's take the lessons from that game and apply them to this one, and try to get that moment of, you know, really clicking for people to happen much earlier in the game.
Do you remember the moment when you saw one of the great mission you've written in the game, and what did you feel about it? Like, I mean, in terms of graphics and just everything worked out, and you just saw it for the first time. What did you feel?
I do. I'm trying to think how to not have spoilers. Well, so I've cried a few times, I will say, in the course of making this game, and you know, there was a moment early on when I was with Bobby Coddington, our animation director, and I think we were making like the first E3 demo, and I went to his desk and I said, Bobby, it's like we're making a movie. Like this is amazing. Like it's such high quality. You know, everything about it just feels great. And you know, it was a moment where like, yeah, we're not just making a movie, we're making a game as well. Like you can play this one, like you can play this movie. So it was really satisfying to see like all the hard work come together, and yeah, I can't wait for everybody to play this game.
Sure. You told us that we can play as MJ. For me, it's quite new information. Yeah, maybe like you keep this for this event. But I'm interested in her story. How developed is her story? It's comparable with Peter's story, or it's a side story?
I think that her story and Peter's story come together, and they continue throughout the course of the main story. But like I said, that's another example of how we wanted to kind of modernize the story. I think, you know, the comics, when they first created Mary Jane's character, it was a different world, you know, and now we're in a world where, you know, women can have any kind of, you know, job that they want. They don't have to be an actress or a model or anything like that. You know, putting her as an investigative reporter not only was cool for gameplay, but it was great for story, because it provides the opportunity for her and Peter to team up when things need to be discovered throughout the city.
Is there any other person we can play as?
We're not talking about any other playable characters right now, but yeah.
So my last question is maybe the same. I saw the note on the fridge of Peter's.
Yeah.
There is a right back to TS. Does it mean that Tony Stark or any other Marvel heroes?
That's up to your interpretation.
Okay. Cool. Okay.